Okay, so I figured there's more things that need to be explained that not very many people seem to understand. Okay, um, when I was little, I suffered brain damage by being thrown up in the air and not caught. And those who find it funny, it's not a sick joke, but if it makes you laugh, at least you're not you're not really you're not really feeling down and out about yourself, and at least enjoying yourself over someone's tragic story. But yeah, as I grew up, it developed me into a slow learner. So yeah, you can imagine how hard it was for me to learn new things. I didn't catch on as quick as everyone else, and I certainly couldn't lock most things into memory. I literally had to repeat the same lesson more than once before it stays clicked, or I had to constantly learn it within a set period of time. Um, I was put in a special ed class from the point of elementary all the way up to high school. Um, I got bullied and picked on a lot throughout the course, and no matter what went down, I couldn't fight back because for some reason I didn't have it in me to be a mean person. Not very many people can understand that. And they believed I needed to kick myself up a notch and supposedly stand up for myself. Um, it's hard to make a person who just wants to see the good in everything and everybody to be pushed to the point of self-defense and whatnot, especially when you're not the type of person to like anything negative at all. Don't even want to be a part of it. Just want to enjoy the positive points and positive sides of life. That was me in a nutshell. Still kind of is to this day. Um, but yeah, I was labeled mentally retarded growing up, and my woman will try to correct me on that word because people like to be a little bit too literal about the word retarded and not just sit back and realize that there's more than one meaning to that word. But yeah, I was labeled that growing up, and some people try to take advantage of some of my mental and psychological disabilities to shape it to help them get what they want and whatnot. Um, Even to this day, some people try to do it, but realize that I've I've learned a little bit to be somewhat self-aware of being used or taken advantage of to the point where if I've already caught on to what you're trying to do, I stop you at the point. Um, let's see what else. Um, Even love and marriage still is a new thing to me because um, even though I feel like I've learned quite a lot, I'm still learning some things that are not newly implemented into my mind to understand. But knowing that I'm a slow learner means uh, I won't fully comprehend anything or most things, and will need to be explained to and uh, help me best understand what's being said and what's being taught. Um, let's see what else. Uh, as I explained in episode 1 of my story here, um, I have been mentally, psychologically, and emotionally, and sometimes physically abused throughout the course of the years going. I have learned to only, I've had to deal with so much pain that bad memories outweigh the good times in my head. Um, Even certain family members took advantage of my disability and tried to mold me into what they want me to be. I mean, my uncle on my mom's side would try to whip me with a belt or something anytime I tried to cry about anything that seemed reasonable to cry about. So in turn, he damaged me to the point to where certain things that would be more considerable to cry on, my tear ducts stay dry. I can't get them to come out. So I have to rely on certain songs that hit home with me to release all that. In the past, I went through probably 105, maybe 110 relationships before I've found a good one. And during those, I was either a vet for about 24 hours or less than 24 hours just for money, or I was just a stand in for as a waiting for the right person to come along for that person, with my feelings not being considered. During the course growing up, I used video games as a means of escaping the negativity of the outside world and keeping me out of trouble. Because at the time that I started playing games, the world, the outside world, was basically about drugs, uh, fights, complaining, um, wars over money, material possessions. Still kind of is to this day, but you get the point. So I stayed inside with my brother and played any console game that we can get a hold of as a means of passing by any type of trouble. And it would also be our main focus when coming back home from school as well. So you can see what the outlet was and um, how long it kept me free from harm. a great amount of years, I never dealt with any problems from the outside world. Never once decided to leave my house because of knowing what's outside. Even though I'm very kind, open-minded, considerate, and loving, and very conversational. I felt that if I go outside, there's not very many people that's going to accept a person like me that doesn't really altogether constantly see a problem. So when I did uh, finally decide to venture out, I found out how much hell I was avoiding when growing up. So yeah, that's where I kind of stand at that point. But in order to make you best understand why uh, it's easy to get uh, verbal word over me or anything, it's because I don't look for confrontation, don't try to start it, don't want to be a part of it. So if I don't quickly respond or take too long to respond to something, it's because I can't think of something off the bat to try to diffuse a situation that I never wanted to be a part of to begin with. It has nothing to do with being a wuss or a coward or anything. It's just that I'm not entirely a confrontational person. I am I am literally as I was raised. That's kind-hearted, considerate, understanding, and could be a uh, terrific friend to a person who accepts me. I mean, I understand the world doesn't really function like that, but at the same time, I don't understand why that can't change. So yeah, there's not much else I can share with you at the moment. I just wanted to bring this out in the open on this particular episode. That way, you guys who are trying your best to understand me from all angles, that's why I disperse them in episodes whenever possible. Because if I come if I come to an understanding of everything that I can finally bring out in better words, and that's why I come back with another episode. Because I have to fully understand what the heck I went through and how's the best way to word it. Well, this has been Adam Shields with another part of my story, and I hope you guys have a terrific day, terrific week, and a great month, and uh, perfect rest of the year. See you guys.